This is the funny thing about becoming a wolf, is everyone will laugh at you, everyone will make fun of you, everyone will question you until you get the results that they desire. If people are judging you for your choices, for your actions, for your life, then you're probably living for yourself. And that tends to make society mad when you're not following the masses, when you're not following everyone else's trajectory, when you're not doing the norm that's expected of you. And that is exactly what I faced going from a sheep to wolf mentality. And I'll talk about exactly what I mean by that. But sheep tend to follow the herd. They're followers. They do what's expected of them. Wolves make their own rules. They travel alone. They're not afraid to take risks. They're not afraid to do something that's never been done before. And I think that there is so much power behind that. And I want to inspire more women out there to be wolves. Growing up, I thought that I wanted to be a dermatologist, and I was doing everything according to the books. I went to college. I started working at a doctor's office. I did all of those things, and I was feeling so unfulfilled, and I realized that that was not the path for me. And that was one of the first times that I felt heavily judged, especially by my peers, especially by the people I went to school with. In a sense, it was like, I'm a failure, I'm giving up. And we've all been there when we've shifted or pivoted, when our interests have changed, when our passions have changed, and we've listened to our heart. We get a lot of backlash. And I look at it completely different. I think people who pivot are truly winning because they are listening to their heart. They're not just going down this beaten path and doing what they should be doing, even if they're unfulfilled, even if they're unhappy. They're listening to themselves. And actually, that's a very feminine quality, is to be in tune with your emotions, in tune with your body, truly understanding if something is right for you or if it's wrong. I remember in the beginning when I started making decisions that were different from everyone else, I was the weird girl. I was the girl doing things differently. I remember when I was in college and I downloaded Millionaire Match and Lexi, a lot of people were like, "You're not a millionaire. Why would you download that app?" And a lot of people had questions and resistance, and it brought up a lot of triggers in people. They didn't understand why I would choose a high quality app over just dating frat guys at my college. They didn't see the benefit. They weren't thinking long term. I'm so glad that I made that decision and I was able to date people who didn't attend my school, who didn't live in the same city, who sometimes didn't even live in the same country. It allowed me to broaden my horizons, see what was out there, and to truly get that life experience that a lot of other people were shying away from. This is the funny thing about becoming a wolf, is everyone will laugh at you, everyone will make fun of you, everyone will question you until you get the results that they desire. Everyone thought that it was a mistake for me to ditch medical school until I started having success as an entrepreneur. Then everyone wanted my advice. Everyone thought it was weird that I was joining Millionaire Match and Lexi until I got engaged, and then everyone wanted my advice. Everyone was seeking my expertise. And that is my teaching lesson to you guys. You need to follow your heart and follow your intuition before you get the accolades and the confirmation and the applause. If you wait for other people to be on board and to cheer you on, you'll be waiting forever. Make choices that benefit you. Follow your desires. It doesn't matter if it's never been done before. It doesn't matter if nobody else agrees with you. It doesn't matter if it seems crazy in that period, because one day you'll look back and it'll all make sense, and you'll be so grateful that you were confident enough and bold enough to take those steps for yourself. I want to give you guys some more examples. So some more things that I was judged heavily for, which ended up becoming huge blessings in my life was deciding to remain abstinent while I was single. So many women told me, no guy is gonna want to invest in you. No guy is gonna wanna court you. No guy is going to wanna wait until after marriage or after engagement. No guy will wanna do that. And that was completely wrong. I met so many men who found it endearing that I was abstinent, who found it empowering that I was abstinent, who thought it was amazing and who valued me for being disciplined enough and having the self-control to be abstinent. And of course, the majority of guys are not going to want that. The majority of guys are not going to want that. But I don't want the majority. I don't want the average. I want the elite. I want the best. I want the top 10, 20%. And I talked about this in my other video, the 80-20 rule video, which I will link up above. And in that video, I talked about how you don't want everyone's attention. When you're online dating, you don't want to talk to every guy you swipe with. You only want to talk to the top 20% who meet your needs, who meet your requirements, who are showing you that consistent effort and action. And that's basically what I found in my journey is I didn't need everyone's approval. I didn't need everyone to accept me. I didn't even need anyone to like me. As long as I was happy with myself and I was making decisions for myself, I saw the benefits compound and multiply. The other thing that I remember being judged on and laughed upon was wanting a huge engagement ring. Like, this is a dream that I've had ever since I was a little girl, was I want a huge rock on my finger. You know, like I at one point thought I wanted a huge wedding. I grew out of that desire, but I realized that my true desire was to have a huge diamond ring. Yeah, it's a superficial desire. Yeah, it's materialistic. But guess what? We're all allowed to have our own desires that speak to us. And for me, a diamond ring spoke to me. It showed that a man was willing to put in work and grind hours and weeks and months to afford this piece of jewelry for me. And it was very important to me. It was something that my mother did not get. And it was something that my grandmother didn't get. And it was something that none of my ancestors got. But I felt that in this generation, I was going to break that cycle. I was going to be the one to get that diamond ring. And I remember voicing this desire of mine to actually a hairdresser. I was getting my hair done, and at the time I was dating my partner, but we were not engaged, and we were talking about like rings and all that sort of stuff. And I had mentioned to her, I want a 3-carat ring minimum. I want the guy to at least have worked for it for a month or two. Like, I want it to be an investment for the guy. I want him to know that it took weeks and months for him to save to get that ring. And I remember her just laughing in a sense and being like, well, good luck. And in that moment, instead of shrinking down and agreeing with her and just going along with it, I told her, no, I know that I deserve this, and I know that I will get this. I know I will manifest this. And that is exactly how you need to respond to the haters, to the people who don't believe in you, to the people who don't see the vision. When they tell you it will never happen for you, you respond to them with that inner knowing. You don't even need to get offended. Like, in that moment, maybe at the time I was a little bit offended because I was like, wow, I thought she'd be more on my team. But then I realized, you know what? She doesn't have the same self-confidence I have. She is projecting her own insecurities, her own inability to manifest a ring like that onto me. And that's what a lot of people do. When you say you want to start a business, a lot of people will tell you it's risky, don't do it, just get a job. And it's because they were unsuccessful trying to start a business. They had no other option but to get a job. So they are going to be putting their fears, their doubts, their uncertainties on you, and the majority will just say like, oh yeah, they're right, like I'm not going to follow my dreams. And that is being a sheep. Being a sheep is following what everyone tells you. Following what everyone tells you is acceptable. You decide what's acceptable in your life. I decided what was acceptable in my life. I met a man who not only got me a ring, but was literally honored that he was with a woman who was abstinent, who was not just messing around with men and giving away my body as if it was worth nothing. So once I fully owned my desires, the rest followed. It became simple because the universe will respond to your desires, to your knowing. If you're uncertain and you're wishy-washy and you're like, oh, I'll just follow the sheep, well, that's the future you're gonna get. You're gonna get a sheep life. You're gonna get the normal. You're gonna get what's expected. You're not gonna get anything that's extraordinary. And so I really want you guys to believe in yourself. When everyone tells you it's impossible, know that actually it is possible. And it's highly probable, but you need to believe it. You need to have that belief in your heart, and regardless of how many no's you get, regardless of how many people laugh at you, judge you, criticize you, you need to keep walking down that path with conviction, knowing that those things are meant for you. Those things, you're deserving of those things. Those things want to attract you just as much as you want to attract them. You must trust in yourself and drown out the noise of the naysayers. You're not going to get the applause and the congratulations and the I need your advice until years down the line. Look at me. I had literally family members who did not even watch my videos until after I hit 2K subscribers. It took 2,000 people trusting in me, subscribing to the vision, understanding me, wanting to hear my advice, for my own family to want to listen to what I had to say, for my own family to think that what I had to say was important or was actually getting people the results that they desired. Okay? I didn't let anybody stop me from living out my dreams, even in the times when I felt like, ugh, am I a failure? Is this the right decision? I just kept going for it. I had the self-awareness, the confidence, the willpower to just keep going after the life that I dreamt of. And I knew that my vision would be a reality as long as I maintained that belief. I didn't need anyone else's approval. I didn't need anyone else on the journey with me. I was literally a lone wolf for years until people are like now wanting to know, oh, how do you invest? How did you start a business? How did you online date? And now that I have the results that people desire, now people want to listen. This is your sign to go after it. It doesn't matter if people aren't on board with you. It doesn't matter if people think that your decision is not the correct one. It doesn't matter if people are not joining you on this journey. All that matters is you are doing what your soul desires, because that is what God wants you to do. He wants you to follow that inner nudge. So I hope that this video was helpful. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if it resonated, if this is giving you like the fuel and the fire to go after your dreams, to be a wolf. It doesn't matter if people laugh at you, judge you, criticize you. I am rooting for you. And I know that as long as you believe it and as long as you go after it, you already got it. It's already done. So I love you guys. I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye!